AI is here, and we're riding on a slippery slope. This is ground zero, where we learn from our mistakes and leverage them as lessons towards best practices. In this video, I'm going to share 5 mistakes you'll want to avoid as an instructional designer using AI. Perhaps these mistakes will teach us a few best practices.
Designers, avoid the mistake of relying too heavily on AI as the SME of SMEs. It is not. It is, in fact, a tool that is available to help us speed up our processes and become more efficient in our workflows. It is not going to replace our SMEs, at least not yet. Drop the slang, lose the filler words, and forget about the acronyms. But most importantly, do not, I repeat, do not drop every word that you have into a field and expect to get a result that is spot on. When using AI as a tool, we have to be specific in our request for information. This requires us to step up our communication and articulation skills. Yes, you may get an answer here or there that's from a poorly formulated question, but the results are only as spot on as the articulation of the question. For example, let's say you wanted objectives for a course. One way of getting those results is to type, "What are some objectives for the following course description?" I copy and paste the entire course description into the fields. And while we get a robust list of examples, these objectives are simple and maybe something that you'd use in an introductory course. We see this by the verb usage of words like understand, learn, identify. These are all passive ways of learning. A more effective way to articulate the same question for a better result would be to provide some conditions around what you're looking for. You can do this by already having your terminal objective identified. This gets you closer to the types of answers you're looking for, opposed to generalizations. Let's try it. Type in the question, "What are some enabling objectives based on the following terminal objectives?" Then we copy and paste our predefined terminal objective into the field. We get more active ways of learning as indicated by the verbs and objectives described, explain, evaluate, and developing. To avoid the mistake of writing subpar questions and expecting to get a result that is spot on, take the time to thoughtfully think about what it is that you're requesting and then articulate it with the specific conditions in a concise way that you can possibly present it as. Think about it like working with a subject matter expert who has all of the information, but it's difficult in the way that they share that information, because if you don't ask the right questions, you won't get the information that you need. Let's be clear. Leveraging AI for answers does not eliminate the need for the analysis phase. Instructional designers, do not be misled. We still need the analysis phase to identify the needs of our learners. Without it, we can't even think about the type of questions that we would be asking AI to give us, because we don't know anything about the learners. And even if you would argue and say, well, I would just have a conversation with AI about my learners, you still would need to know something about your learners to be able to initiate that conversation. The point is that analysis is still very critical. It's still a very important phase in our process, even with the existence of AI. Even with the open-based instructional design generator Knowledge, which is an AI tool that can generate ready-to-assign micro-learning, that ID generator tool lets you upload content and then generate the micro-learning in just a few minutes with assessments, activities, and games. However, it is not a upload and generate and then implement type of workflow, at least not yet. It requires adjustments, verification, as well as validation. Might this change in the future? I'm pretty sure that it will. But for right now, as of 2023, it does not allow you to just generate, upload, and implement without having some checks and balances in place. We're simply not there yet. Avoid the mistake of skipping phases of the ADDIE process by acknowledging and accepting that you will have to go back and you will have to validate information, because AI is a tool that helps us develop high quality content faster. And that content still needs to be reviewed, revised, and validated. So skipping Addy is just not a good idea, at least for now. Designers, trust but verify. We cannot take information from AI, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter if it's just a teeny tiny gap that you're trying to close on some content. Do not do it. Do not be tempted to do it. This is a major mistake. Take the time to validate, verify, go through the Addy methodology, the processes, the instructional design practices. They are there not because we don't have the technology to do it. They're there because they work. And until our AI systems, other tools, technologies, and platforms start to get in the flow, the workflow that replicates these processes to check things off, we still have to perform them. We still have to do them. It's why we hear it. It's the human factor of it all. And this may change in the future. I'm not saying that the AI will never be able to take on these other components that we're doing. But for right now, they're not able to do that. And so we have to be professional in our reputation and in our approaches to make sure that we are still showing up as instructional designers and making sure we're doing our job. Refrain from placing proprietary information into ChatGPT, knowledge, or any other up-and-coming AI tool, platform, resource, or what have you that is going to evolve in this environment. You have to be very careful as an instructional designer because these tools are coming and they are coming fast. They're very cool in what they can do. They are speeding up our processes of being able to develop and design in efficient and effective and creative ways. But at the same time, we have to be very diligent in what we are doing, how we are getting that information and how we're processing it. It's not a lot of processes and procedures in place to protect you from the rights and the wrongs. We're still in the environment where we're trying to figure out those things. So you have to be very mindful about what you're placing into these tools. With that said, there are some parties that have been given information and they just might minimize it. This can happen so innocently and so fast from a relaxed mindset where you're rationalizing that, hey, I'm going to use this AI tool to get some inspiration or maybe some ideas so that I can get ready for this meeting with these stakeholders and SMEs. Or maybe you're thinking to yourself, hey, I'm going to put these meeting notes, these meeting minutes in this AI tool to see what kind of cool questions I can get and, really talk and be a little bit more involved in these meetings. Listen, these things are really great ideas to do. However, it does place proprietary, sensitive information at risk. You may be doing this right now and not even realizing it. If you are, stop, pull the brakes, pull out the plug, do something different, turn around, exit the stage left. I don't know. Just stop doing it because you are putting your reputation at risk. You are exposing the clients that you work for, their information and data. And, some of you out here may be saying, I already know that. I'm totally not doing that. But think very carefully and be very strategic in how you do approach these things with these tools, because there are still laws, there's still policies, there's still best practices being formulated around them. And you don't want to do something in this environment now that is in a court case or in some type of dispute that once that dispute lands and it's finished, that you're on the wrong side of the practice. So to that, I say be very, very cautious in what you put into these tools and enjoy them. Have fun with them. Have more conversations with instructional designers. Look for more videos from me, from other people who are talking about this in this climate of the different technologies that are being put in place for learning development. And also, join the conversation so we could talk about more instructional design ideas, inspiration, and energy. We got to keep it flowing. Let's just keep it flowing and going and synergizing, all of that good stuff. See you next time in my